Welcome to Central Happenings Network. I'm your host, Bellagio Sampler, and welcome to the show. I have a very special show brought to you by you, the listener. We're going to be taking calls, listening to your stories, your information. I'll be answering questions, giving advice. But I would like to report the victory and the reason behind all the censorship. The reason why random shows get labeled zero anon. We can't even say it because they'll just label the whole show. And the reason is we are winning. The average American person knows. They know. We talked about this on the last show, but every time I am speaking to the average American, Bellagio Sampler travels the world, speaking around the world, and I'm meeting the average person out there. Maybe I'll come to a town near you someday. But the average person, especially Christians, holy moly. Christians is not even the average Christian. You could take any Christian, okay? This isn't a traditionalist, okay? Somebody that just goes to church on Christmas, goes and does confession once a month. No. I mean somebody that goes to church, a good church that's fighting the government, staying open without masks at full capacity, using their God-given constitutional right. But people that attend church breakfasts. You could take anybody at one of these events at a non-denominational American Christian church, and they will tell you whether they're 80 years old, 90 years old, 50 years old, 20 years old, 10 years old. They will tell you, do not take the vaccine. They're trying to kill you. It's part of the Satan system. The mark of the beast is coming. And this is all really inspiring stuff. That's why big tech is terrified. That's why Google is terrified. Because the average American knows they're evil. They know the basic gestalt that Alex Jones told Joe Rogan. And that's just a scientific breakdown of it. The scientific breakdown is the elite worship an extra-dimensional entity that they get off-world extra-dimensional technology from. And this entity spiritually is Satan. Pretty interesting. And the average person is waking up all across the board. The average atheist is seeing how the enemy attacks Christianity. And they're like, I want what they have. I need to know why they are under attack. Why the enemy hates them openly more than anyone else. So we're living in truly miraculous times. We are living in an end times revival. What does that mean? That means more people are coming back to God. That is the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to get people to God. And now in this day and age, sometimes that's through this information. But it's really inspiring to, like I said, I've been giving people homework assignments for Bible studies. The last one was find a good church. a good Christian church, one that preaches Jesus, not third world nations, not Zionism, Jesus. And that church exists in a 45-minute radius of your town. They're fighting the government. They don't require masks. It's normal life there. Mass gatherings of people with no mask. Oh, Bellagio, that's illegal. That's, unless it's a peaceful protest with Black Lives Matter signs. Then it's perfectly fine. This is the last sliver of normal reality. Then you go out to the grocery store. Everyone's wearing a mask except you and one other person, or you and a few other people. Society, they're trying to tame society. They're trying to domesticate you, obviously. And also dehumanize you. People can't see each other's faces. People can't see each other's smiles. It's a scientific, engineered plot to dehumanize, deconstruct society, destroy the economy, demonize the family, demonize fellowship. An entire generation of kids not seeing people's facial reactions. Imagine that. And people worship science. It's quite fascinating. Well, you worship science. I would much rather worship Jesus, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. And the beautiful thing is, seeing some people and realizing that every knee will bow, every tongue will confess. Some people are going to be a little upset when that happens, but because the Bible talks about there'll be people in the end times that would rather hide in caves and under mountains. That's the bunkers, the underground cities, the underground bunkers, where these thousands of earthquakes are happening every week, every day. And these are shallow earthquakes, not real earthquakes, that occur hundreds of kilometers deep underground, usually 500, 600. But these are earthquakes that happen 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers. And this is exactly what the Bible talked about 2,000 years ago, predicting they would rather hide in their caves and pray to the rocks to fall on them. Pretty wild prediction, right? 6-mile deep earthquakes. Yeah, for people that don't know kilometers. Is that a so 10 kilometers is about 6 miles. The mole people. Pretty wild. We're going to open up the phones. You guys have to make a bump thread. We have to make a bump thread. Get some people in here. Where's Mr. Kit Wilson? He was hoping to be able to call in. The merch store. Wow. Yeah, we haven't updated that in forever. I don't even know what's on it still. We got to check. Somebody bought a cup recently. I love it. Waking in their boots. Oh my God. Let's open up the phone lines so you guys could call in. Tell me what you're viewing, what you're monitoring, what are your thoughts on the situation in life. Ask me any questions, advice, counseling. Let's open up the phone. 1 second. See if this still works. We have to knock off the government phone line, dude. With the Langley area code in the unique digits. I made sure when we set this up from Based Snooch. Back in the day, he funded this. Well, everyone funded everything, but he specifically one time we needed to get the phones up and running. And I said, I want to make sure my area code is based in Langley to add to the mythos. Let's see. We have to open up the number. There you go. This should work. Let's turn the music off. And call in. Let's hear what you have to say. Black Eagle, how you doing? Black Eagle's in the house. Brack is the Quake Czar. He hope maybe he'll call in. We'll see. I think he's gonna give me a QRD bullet point rundown, and I'll read it of the Quake information. The mythos of the game. It's impossible for me to be a glower because I'm too good at video games. They play like simple stuff like Candy Crush and Angry Birds, right? They think they're good at games. No. If only I could figure out a way to make government money and play video games at the same time. I would be like Nick Fuentes, actually, right? That's what he does. We're going to do a whole show about Mr. Fuentes. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Bellagio, what's going on, man?
How are you?
I'm great. The same crypto-based leafing on here. Check it in.
Nice, dude. Tell us what tips you got for us.
All right. So I was just in the comments there. I brought my second Ethereum rig online last week, so now I'm absolutely crushing with that. I found a reseller in Canada that was selling cards on the cheap, much cheaper than eBay, Best Buy, anything like that. So I
what kind of cards did you get?
I got my first rig was I call it my mutt rig. So I started with two 5700 XTs, and then I added three 5600 XTs, and then I managed to get a 3060 Ti at Best Buy.
Those are AMD cards?
They're all AMD except the 3060 Ti. That's NVIDIA. But so I got that one.
Wait, a 3060 Ti. Oh, okay. So you do have one of the new 3 Series cards.
Yeah, I managed to get one. I was sitting there refreshing for basically a couple weeks. I'd be sitting there with my headphones half in, listening to like refresh streams from all these different places. Anyway, I ended up getting one of those cards. That was pretty sweet. So that one's winding out, and that's been winding out since the summer. And I just got my second rig online.
What are you making per day mining Ethereum?
So with my two rigs, the second one I just got, I put together. It's 6 5600 XTs. So combined, both rigs are pulling 525 mega hashes per second, and they're pulling about 70, 73 US per day right now. It's unbelievable.
Because the price of Ethereum's gone up so much.
Hell yeah, yeah. So like I got most of them. I built my first rig when Ethereum price was kicking around like 300 US, something like that. I always speak in US dollars, even though I'm a leaf, everything in crypto is in US. So like for reference. So
yes,
I got most of those all set up, and yeah, it's been super fruitful. It's basically impossible to get graphics cards. I am that guy that's contributing to the problem for people who actually would just want to play games and shit like that. But I have money to make, so I'm gonna do it. So now I'm pulling in probably, like, if I were to project my day-to-day earnings yearly, I'm pulling like 32,000 a year. just from running these fucking things. It's bonkers. It doesn't make any sense. So
Interesting.
it's printing money. But
So,
yeah,
do you have to do? So is it a special program you like then download to run these graphics cards in the rig? Explain to us real quick if you like, for people that have
sorry,
no
yeah.
idea.
It's very easy. Like at first I was running, I didn't really know. I don't have anyone to talk to. I've just been blazing my own trail and looking online and stuff like that. I have no kind of IRL contact for it. I just kind of figure it out. But so first I was running Windows 10 with it, and if you're running a couple cards, it's okay. But when you start getting a lot of different cards in there, and Windows 10 is just not stable for it. So I found that Hive OS, it's called, is super effective. So you can just whack this on like a USB stick and boot from the USB stick, and it just goes. It's like some kind of Unix variant, but you just boot this up, and once you have the cards tuned for like your proper like undervolting and your overclocking and stuff like that. Once you get them to like a stable level, you just set it and forget it, baby. It's just
Crusader,
it's
thank you for following on Twitch. I'm sorry to cut you off. People in chat are asking you a bunch of questions. They want to ask you some stuff. We're going to ask you, and I want to ask you a question after too.
Sure, yeah. I can't see the chat because I got my phone in
Okay,
my
I'm
head.
going to tell you. One person's asking, how much is your electric bill at this point? Like,
Okay, so
obviously there's some cost.
yeah, it's okay. So I'm pulling on my mutt rig that like I said, that's like 1,035 watts right now. I kind of have that set to like a performance setting versus like a cost saving because I don't really give a fuck about power. I know that Ethereum's going to appreciate a ton in the coming years, and I just want to squeeze every last drop out of it. And then my other rig is probably my 5600 rig is probably maybe like 825 watts, something like that. So let's call it 1800 watts, 1900 watts, 24/7. So I'm pulling like, let's say $70 a day after power cost. It's something ridiculous, like $67 or $68. Like it's nothing. It's not even, what's that? Not
So
even
where
10%.
you live, power, I mean, it might go up under the Biden administration. And then my
No,
question is, go ahead.
I'm in Canada anyway, and we get raped for power costs here. So like I'm paying 12 cents. I'm on the east coast of Canada. I'm paying 12 cents per kilowatt hour for
Oh yeah,
power, and
he's gonna fuck you guys too, dude. He already canceled the pipeline. He's messing.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh
you're
yeah,
you're
oh
gonna
yeah,
pay. What's it
oh
called? What's
I
it
know,
called?
it's bonkers. Yeah,
Then
yeah,
my question
sure.
is: are you just you said you're basically Are you just sitting on the Ethereum until the price goes up? You're thinking that's what you're doing with it, or?
Yeah, like a lot of people, they say like, on the way up, you got to take profits and shit like that. Whatever, man. Like I'm so hyper bullish. I'm so long term that I believe that we're going to get to a point, certainly with certainly with Bitcoin, but I would say like obviously the top two are Bitcoin and Ethereum, but I think we're going to get to a point where you won't have to sell. Like you can lock that up in a smart contract, or you
Well,
can
that's what someone else is asking you. You might have just answered that. What's your plan
okay.
when Ethereum moves to proof of stake? Do you have any plans of holding Ethereum to gain interest?
Yes. Okay. So when I was I started getting into it. I'll give a little backstory. I started getting in. I first heard about Bitcoin in 2011. I was 21 years old, and I was like, it hit $100, and I was like, shit, I missed the boat on that one. Like, this crazy whatever money. Like, I wasn't in the mind state. Now I'm like 30, just over 30 years old now. So just turned 31. So I'm like a truther and a researcher, and I look into stuff heavily. But I wasn't in that mind state then. I was 21, just fucking around, whatever. So I heard about it, $100. Yeah, missed the boat on that. Heard about it again in 2013 when it popped in whatever news I was crawling over. Hit 600 and something, 630 or something. Like, damn, I really missed that. It was 100 a couple of years ago. Forgot about it again. Then 2016 comes, starts coming in the news cycle on the way up, and I was like, shit. It was like 4 or 5 grand maybe at that point. And I was like, okay, I got to start whacking something to this. So Coinbase allowed you to put $100 per week on your Visa at that point, and it just obviously Coinbase is normie based, but I didn't really I didn't know a whole lot about it. I was like, I just got to start whacking money at it. So every week, week after week, I was putting $100, $100, and it was just like doubling, like on the whole way up. Then I got into, it was like absolute peak after Christmas, like December 28th. I bought my first ASIC miner. So that's application specific integrated circuit. So that's different than a GPU. All it does is mine. It's a mining box, and it throws out a ton of heat. It's super loud, and it churns through power pretty good. So I got one of those. I ended up buying it from buying a pre-order from a reseller. So I paid like a ridiculous fee for that. Certainly, I'll never get my money back for that. That was, I would say, on the surface it was a mistake, but it got me in the game. It got me thinking about this stuff. So since then, I've been whacking it pretty heavily. So now I'm looking at, I'm pulling in enough money from mining now, just with a 2-rig operation, that I'm looking at going like, do I need to make like a holding company? Like at first it was like, all right, I'm not paying taxes on this stuff, but now it's like, it's not chump change. It's not 10 grand, 20 grand. Like my Chad Folio is like, it's approaching at this point like 200K US, and it's bonkers. So this is like, I know that this is going to be life-changing money in the future, and I need to, as much as I would obviously love to not pay taxes, I gotta figure it out. I gotta talk to like an accountant or a lawyer or both, and and figure this out. So
Incredible. Very, very interesting. Somebody donated to me a bunch of XRP and told me to sit on it till it goes big.
I
What do you know about the XRP schizo threads?
XRP. Oh, I never, honestly, personally, I despise XRP. I don't like it. It's like it's strange how you have certain what would you call it? Not inclinations, but certain feelings towards certain cryptos.
Tribalism to the cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, it's true. Like I knew a guy that made some big money on XRP. He put, I think he got in on Ethereum when it was like $10 or $11 a piece, and then it ran up to whatever. I think he sold around like the $700 or $800 mark, something like that. So he made a good chunk of money. He made, I think, like 25 grand off it or something like that. And when I first heard about it, I was like, damn man, like 25 grand, like that's saying something. That's a big amount. But now I'm like, 25 grand, tut tut. Like it's I wouldn't sell any of my shit for 25 grand. But anyway, he made a bunch of money on that, and he flipped $500 of that into XRP when it was like fractions of a cent, and he watched it ride all the way up. I think XRP's
Yeah, you
all-time
could
high was
do
like,
that with like penny stocks and small cryptos, right?
yeah. So he still has a ton of those, and I talk to him every now and then, but he's just kind of sitting on it and not really doing anything. But I don't know. I've never liked XRP, and then when all the shit went down with the SEC and all that stuff, that was the first time I opened up a short because I heard rumors that the SEC was going against them. I ended up making some money on the short. And then obviously it rallied back. But yeah, tribalism says, for me, I don't like XRP.
All right. Well, anything that you want to tell us? We've asked you a lot of questions.
Yeah, I would just recommend that the narrative right now for all the base nons listening is you can voluntarily get into crypto now and make some money while it goes parabolic. This might be the last parabolic cycle for Bitcoin. You might have one more after this cycle.
And
Certainly,
then
like
what?
it could be. Well, I think it's going to level off once we start getting like hyper Bitcoinization, they call it. So once everyone absolutely apes into it, you've got all these big guys throwing billions and billions and billions. Bitcoin market cap just crossed $1 trillion the other day. I think it retraced a little bit, but we're hovering right around $1 trillion right now. Like it's going to the stuff with GameStop, the stuff with Nokia, the stuff with all that Robinhood trading stuff, when people were getting absolutely bogged and screwed out of their cash, having their positions liquidated and stuff like that from these central entities. Like you're not going to get that in Bitcoin, and you're going to get people that are frustrated with the system. You're going to get people that want to take part in the monetary transfer from the boomers to the millennials to the zoomers that they recognize what the future of money is, this monetary system, this sound money that you're not going to get from anything else. You can't even get it with gold. Gold used to be the thing that people would pray for, the gold standard. That's out the window. That's gone. It's Bitcoin now. So you need to get on board with it and start allocating some funds to it so it can not only stay safe but appreciate over time. But what I was saying before is you're not going to see incredible. This might be the last cycle. Maybe I could be wrong. The last parabolic cycle for Bitcoin, because everyone's going to ape into it, and it's going to be crazy. That volatility is great. That's good as long as you have strong hands. Don't sell the bottom. You buy and you hold. You don't sell when you feel like you see number go down. You don't sell. So you hold on to it. Obviously, that's not the story with GameStop, but there's a lot of bad actors and stuff going on with that. But Bitcoin, you need to get on board with it, or you're going to get left behind. And
what if you don't have enough for a full Ethereum or a full Bitcoin? You buy a partial, like you just buy what you can. Is that still smart?
Of course, yeah. I recommend everyone that's getting into it. I see more upside, short-term upside in Ethereum versus Bitcoin. I'm a big Bitcoin guy. I'm a big Ethereum guy. Sorry, going back to the other question, when it switches to proof of stake, I just remembered that you asked that, and the other anon asked that rather. I have enough Ethereum. 32 is the minimum to hit that threshold for staking. I plan on doing that. I need to sit down and really think about what I'm going to do for that process. You can do it yourself on like a PC, a mid-range PC, and run a validator node. So essentially you stake those 32 Ethereum, you put them in a smart contract, then for lack of better explanation, they give you, let's just say, a validator chip. It's not really what happens, but you are given a title of validator essentially, and then that computer validates transactions, and you get paid for staking those Ethereum and validating the transactions, securing the network, and making it all happen. So you can do that on a PC, but then you run the risk if you have any downtime, then your rewards start getting slashed, and if you have enough downtime, then your staked amount starts getting slashed. So downtime is the devil with proof of stake with Ethereum. So I need to look into getting. You can do certain. I forget the name of it now, but there's certain services that are set up essentially where they spoon feed you the process to put it on AWS. So you have 0.00% downtime. You're always up, and it's just running in the cloud, and you don't have to think about it. So it costs you about $500 a year, ish, to run that, and you just set it and forget it. I need to do that now, but yeah,
Well, I love the info. Chat is advocating that you should prove how much money you've made by donating to Bellagio's Ethereum account. to prove it.
I'll tell you what. I already send you a couple bucks on Patreon, but
you're incredible. Then that's all you need to do.
Yeah. I'll DM you
already, guys. I'm calming him down.
I'll DM you my wallet address, and you can see my stuff grow on Patreon, the private messages. How about that?
Holy moly! This guy, guys, he's already proved it. He's on Patreon. So I calmed him down. Don't worry. Awesome. I love it.
I'm not a scumbag. I'm for the people here, man.
You're amazing. You're amazing. I like the info more than anything, and you've always been saying for months now to get into crypto. So.
Oh yeah, I haven't changed my tune. This is one of my
So just Ethereum? Is that it? There's nothing else you're looking into?
No, I look into all kinds of stuff, but I don't want to beat your ear off with all that. No, I'm big on.
Just give us one penny crypto coin, something small.
Okay, well, not penny, but I'll tell you my bag right now that I've got on the go. So I've got, I'm mostly Ethereum heavy. I'm probably 60% in Ethereum. I'm probably 30-ish% in Bitcoin. And then the remaining I have split between altcoins. My moonshot, my little baby, is RLC. I exec decentralized cloud computing. I love the idea of it. I love the concept. I love the team. I love everything they're putting through. And that's been absolutely pumping in the last little while. my average buy price on that was about 33 cents, and then I bought more near the top. Well, not the top, but at the time, the local top. So my average buy price is about 44 cents on that. I think last time I just looked at it a few minutes ago, it was a little over $2, which is deadly.
Well, that's awesome.
So Ethereum, Bitcoin, RLC, Uniswap, Sushi, Comp, Aave, Avalanche, and the Graph and Injective Protocol. I like all of them.
And you think all these are going to be going up, and you said a couple more big booms, and they're all going to level off, you think?
I took a couple weeks ago, probably about a month ago, I was like, okay, the first, like in 2016, the big crazy parabolic insanity was ICOs, the initial coin offerings. Everyone would pony up their Ethereum, and they would get in on this mostly vaporware stuff, promising, all these big projects and big rewards, and people could make a lot of people made a lot of money, but a lot of people lost a lot of money too. So this time, what I'm seeing, the trend I was seeing a month ago, certainly, and I still see it today, is DeFi tokens. So decentralized finance, people taking control of their own assets. They're making money for providing liquidity to these pools. It's going to be huge. So people moving away, getting frustrated with the financial system as it exists today, are going to move into crypto, and then they're going to realize that DeFi exists. So these coins, a lot of them, last month, I just took one Ethereum, and I said, okay, I'm just going to split this up amongst, I think, 5 or 6 coins. So it was roughly $200 worth of Ethereum per coin. Some of those are now 1,800, some 1,500, some 1,200, some are 400, some are 500. They have all at least doubled, if not tripled or quadrupled in that time period. And I think that DeFi tokens are a nice way to juice some coin. But everyone has to keep in mind, this is the final thing I'll say. I don't mean to go on forever, but final thing I say is the ultimate goal is to get more Bitcoin in the end. So all of these shitcoin plays that I'm making, I'm looking to, in the end, squeeze more Bitcoin, because I believe that will be the goal 2.0. It will be the global standard. Ethereum, I love Ethereum, and I'm more heavily weighted in Ethereum, but I really believe in the store of value of Bitcoin, and I hope that maybe I'll inspire some people to either start mining or get on board with take the crypto pill, because that's where we're moving.
Amazing information. Everyone likes it a lot. Thank you for calling in very much. I always love talking to you. Thank you again for the information.
Yeah, thanks, dude. I always appreciate your streams. Love everything you're bringing to the table. Love the listen.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
All right, take care.
Have a good one. Always amazing information. Blows my mind. Mining is back in heavily. Like, I should have built a mining rig when nobody, like a year and a half ago, Unbelievable. But that's great. That's great. It's really hard to get any graphics card right now. They're all being bought up by miners. But there are some costs. Where he lives, electricity is not expensive, and up in Canada. I don't know what part, but for example, if you lived in a democratic city down here, Los Angeles, you'd be paying an arm and a leg for electricity, unless you had some deal, like you rented, you didn't have to pay utilities, whatever, some special deal. But your landlord would be like, "What the heck are you doing? 100 watts per, no, 1,000." He said 1,300 watts per hour, per minute, just in general, constantly. That's like a grow operation, a small hydroponic grow operation, 24/7. That was funny. That was great. Delta Echo Victor Echo Romeo says deep packet inspection targets crypto node traffic. Their node transactions are blocked. No more access to your crypto. This crap is so fragile. KZYY says 2 rigs are about 1,800 watts. Wow, holy moly. That is some awesome information. He's over on DLive if you want to ask him anything. My restream is not saying how many people are over on DLive, but I can read what you guys are saying. Watching. I got the multiple monitors up. Anybody more than welcome to call in. Tell me what's on your mind. What's going on in your locale. If you need advice, if you have any questions. That was a great call. The phone lines are up. I have to keep the window at the forefront. I guess I could pull it over here. See if that works. Yeah, I'm gonna do I gotta do a show on this whole Nick Fuentes, Patrick Casey feud. I mean, now everyone's saying that Nick is a Fed. I've been saying it for years. Is that funny? That is fun. Yeah, I think Patrick Casey's much more respectable guy than Nick Fuentes is. Put it that way. But he would know the inner workings, the Baked Alaska informant. They make informants out of these guys, but these big Bitcoin transactions from agencies, who knows? Could be Chinese. Crazy stuff. I want to hear what's going on in your neck of the woods. You don't have to say where. Just tell me what life is like over there. People are starting to get tired of the masks here, big time. Big time. I can't wait till. I mean, I don't know. There's always going to be some people that fully listen to the government. Wear 5 masks, 10 masks. But like I said, the average person's waking up. The average person knows someone that lost a business, knows someone that lost a family member, not to the dreaded COVID, just to, you say it's COVID, but it was just an advanced flu, basically, other underlying issues. But improper care, really, is what it boils down to, just like in New York. With the nursing homes, Governor Cuomo, all that nonsense. It is crazy. Should have been obvious when he is calling with Milo, Baked Alaska. Yeah. Tired of one mask, ready for 3. That's great. If you call, it's a family-friendly show. No cursing. I'll have to censor you for Susan. It's the campaign. Censoring for Susan. Black Eagle's being polite. He's gonna call later. I want Black Eagle to call. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hey, this is Connor, FEMA Region 3.
Hello, how you doing, sir? Hello, are you there?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Hello.
Say something.
Is this Connor in FEMA Region 3? Do you copy? He got scared. He thought he was calling in to his superior. No, I'm joking. I don't know. That was good. I like that. Where's my FEMA map? I gotta pull it out. Where is Region 3? Region 3 is Hawaii. No, I don't know. Come on, why'd you hang up? Maybe his phone wasn't working on his end. It was, you know what? Because I moved the box over to the other window. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he couldn't hear me. I'm moving it back over here. Guess I can move OBS over here. I think for the time being. Yeah. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hi, do you have Battletoads?
I do. Yes. Which copy would you like?
Yeah, I'm looking for Battletoads for the NES.
The NES, the original. You are a man of taste.
Thank you. Okay, how much is it?
$13.99 plus tax makes it $14.87.
Okay, I will be there shortly. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I was not the same guy. That was not Connor from FEMA Region 3. That was a man of good taste. He wanted the original Battletoads. The super, which one was the really hard Battletoads that nobody could get past the second level with the freaking hover bikes? I couldn't. Even pro gamers couldn't. Was that Super Nintendo Battletoads or Nintendo Battletoads? Hello, caller. You're on the air.
BasedBellagio.
Hello.
It's good to be on, bro.
How you doing?
It's Crusader.
Hey, man. How are you, brother?
I'm doing good. A lot of snow. It's cold. A bunch of trees got knocked down over where I'm at. So, aside from that, though, it's not too bad.
It is freezing,
and it is so cold. It's ridiculous. I don't like it. I don't know how Champagne does it.
Yeah, it's
much
cold
for
where
me.
I am too. It's snowing also. Beautiful the snow, but it makes it hard to get anything done outdoors.
It really does. And then you have to get up in the morning, and I was shoveling snow, and gotta go feed the animals out in the cold, and just miserable. The
Yes.
wind's the worst part. When it starts getting windy, whew, no
It
good.
is.
No good. But it makes you tough. Toughens you up. But I wanted to talk about something local. So I think we should all be working with all the crazy stuff going on right now. Be focusing more on our local areas, our local communities, families, friends, building those relationships up. All it takes is a phone call or going over and saying hi to your neighbor and giving them a friendly visit, stuff like that. Or like we were talking about, finding a church that's in your local area. But we need to start building the local communities. Trying to fix things from the top down is it's too big of a task for the vast majority of people, myself included.
Well,
So
that's a great idea.
do what you can. Just do what you can, even if it's just a small thing, help an old lady cross the road type of deal. Every time you do that stuff builds up. So start working on it.
That's really good. And you'll be amazed on how many people you meet that are like-minded people. You'll meet everyday people of every age that you're gonna hear stuff and you're like, wow, is he reading the same websites I'm reading? Is like, you know, God's gonna connect you with like-minded people. That's just how it is, you know.
Yeah, you just gotta have faith and do.
You gotta
the
talk
most
to people,
important thing we can
smile.
do here. Smile at people and just be friendly. And everybody's going through a hard time right now with all these masks and all this other nonsense. And it's not like I think the vast majority of people, excuse me, aren't. It's not like they like what's going on. I hear people at work. I hear people just out on the street or going to the gas station. Or it's not like people like it. They're just dealing with it because they don't know what else to do right now. So a friendly smile or being, even if you got to wear a mask, just being friendly with people and trying to make things, a little bit more livable. And at the same time, start working on how to better your community, but better yourself at the same time. Start reading Investopedia. Figure out how the markets work, how money works, how all that kind of stuff works, and just figure out how to get by and how to help as many people as you can in the process, and spread the gospel while you're doing it. That's all we can do.
That's amazing advice right there. That is amazing advice, and I agree, because you're not going to solve every problem or any problem by just staying online and making online friends and talking about, you know, the immigration stats of Greece or Turkey. You know, you have to stay local and make a local community and build from there, you know?
Well, and every person that you influence by doing that wants to go and do the same thing, then it just spreads out like a big web of people that are just that are like-minded, and they see, hey, I saw somebody else do it, I can do it too.
Yeah, I like that. It's
And
good
then
advice.
just do your best. Just do your best, and realize that we're living through some really, really interesting times. So don't get black-pilled, don't get depressed, and just keep the faith and try. And one of the only things you have total control over is your attitude. So kill them with kindness, and be as positive as you possibly can.
Yeah,
Just
that's
keep
a
on
great
trucking.
that's a great advice right there too. Like when you tell when you go to grocery shopping and you're not wearing a mask, you make sure you smile and be kind, and you tell the people, no, I'm not wearing a mask, you know, or I don't, you know, but you do it with kindness and good attitude. You don't have to be like, you know, like that video, just like knocking someone down or fighting the security guard. No, just use that opportunity as your God-given right to be a human with no mask on, and smile and be like, no, I don't need to wear a mask. I have a, you know, X, Y, and Z, you know?
Exactly.
That's a great, that's
Just be
great.
positive and be friendly, and it really it affects other people. It's contagious,
Yeah, absolutely. It's true. And then like,
because
you
there's a
know,
lot of sadness going on right now, and we need to do what we can to try and, even if it's something small, you don't even realize it could affect somebody's life in a huge way.
yeah, because you know, horrible news is on the rise. People are stuck in their homes. Suicide rates are up, unfortunately. Domestic violence is up. You know, because the government's engineered this, the think tanks have engineered this crisis directed towards America to destroy families, destroy the economy.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. That's exactly what's happening, and that's we're small. I myself as well think that, oh well, if we get the right person at that high enough level, we can fix it, and everything's will be. You got to start small. Do what you can at your local level, and figure out how you can make even a small difference, and try and help out where you can.
That's a really good. I love it. People love it in chat too. They're going crazy. This is a great message. People like it a lot.
Well, I'm
Tell us
glad.
some more.
Well, that's awesome.
Give us one more tidbit. What else is on your mind? It doesn't have to be advice, but people are on the edge of their seats right now. They're like, they love this advice, and the attitude is huge right now. It really is. It's like, I mean,
Well,
I don't know. Take Terry Davis for example. Living in a van, living on the streets, he had a good attitude. That's why people were attracted to him for one reason. Even atheists or just programmers, you know, that didn't even like God, or you know, they were attracted to him because of his attitude, how positive he was. That was just you boil it down to the base form of it.
well, and that's the biggest. Whatever you do in life, just go into it. I get kind of autistic about things, like, I'm gonna fish post since I got an option for it. So I like keeping aquariums, like freshwater fish, and I've got a bunch of them. And you can breed them, and you can put plants and stuff in there and decorate them however you want to. And what the goal is just basically try and create an environment where the fish will be happy, and get them to breed. And it's like you got this little piece of nature in your house or your barn or wherever you want to put it. And it's the most peaceful thing. Like if you're feeling super stressed, get you a little 5 or 10 gallon aquarium, and put you a betta in there, or some any kind of fish in there, really, some snails, whatever you want, some plants. And just watching them, it relieves the pressure from all all the news, all the crazy stuff that's going on in the world, and you kind of just realize like God made this. He made all of this kind of stuff. So there's no reason to be overly stressed out and getting worried about whatever's going on in the world. You just do the best you can. Try and follow the word as well as you can, and help people when you can, and everything will be good. It's all going to work out. We know who wins in the end. It's going to get kind of rough along the way, but that's why you just got to toughen up and say, you know what? I've already got my faith. I know who wins in the end. We're good to go. I'm going to do as well as I can along the way, and that's all I can do.
I love
and
it.
buy a fish tank.
Yeah, I like that too. That's good advice also.
But yeah, no, that was all I was wanted to say. Thanks for having the call-in show tonight. And it brightened up my day. So you're always based, and it's good to see you, Bellagio.
Hey, thank you so much, and I appreciate the call. Thank you for calling, brother.
All right, talk to you later.
Have a good one. Amazing advice. That was great. Always have a great attitude. I like that. Even when you're calling GameStop, asking for the most recent release of a video game, you do it with a smile, and it's good stuff. And do it local. But I like all the advice he gave, for real. Aquarium decorator? That would be nice. Aquarium consultant. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Hell yeah, dude. Right on.
How are you?
Tell me. Oh, I'm doing all right, brother. How you doing?
Good.
Long time listener, first time caller. You got to get a little bell that you ding for that.
I do. I need to get like a soundboard I could always just do,
Slam the bell. No, you need to get an actual little bell and ding that.
Okay,
So,
I like that idea.
All right, what's the estimated prediction here for World War III? I need to know a date. I'm trying to put some money down.
Oh wow.
I'm waiting on Predict It to put a line up.
I don't know. I mean, we got to see what happens in the Supreme Court, if anything. But if nothing happens, then it could be in a Biden administration. I don't know if the military wants to go to war in a Biden administration, but we'll see, I guess.
I think they've been banging the war drum pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, when Trump was at the end there, China's been doing some weird stuff. And if you look at the military's actions, not Biden, because all he does is stay home and write executive orders, but the military has positioned our carriers and military in a defensive position. Are
you familiar with the David Goldberg story?
Yes, with the Project Zephyr.
Yeah, right.
Tell us more.
I don't know. You need to just play clips from it and then play Netanyahu off of doing one of his UN speeches and just layer it across each other and just think about that for a few minutes. If it's not him, it's somebody that is from that group and has an agenda. And if I've read a little bit more into it, Zephyr might be actually a callback to a Sepher, Sepher. You'll have to research that further. I didn't do too much, but it basically is a reference to someone that was exposing some of these clandestine operations. So it was kind of one of those open secret circumstances. But I'd love to hear your opinion on it, given summer 2019, a month or two prior to Trump literally saying I'm the king of Israel. This guy says, I've got these notes from the White House.
Did Trump say he's the king of Israel, or did Netanyahu say that or something?
Trump declared himself the king of Israel. And this dude, David Goldberg, Zerg, he fucking called it out 2 months prior. I back then I was banging the alarms of, they're trying to get us at war with Iran, and it was already too late. Once that happened, and that's what, kind of leads me down the path of starting to think a little more about that WikiLeaks Pied Piper email. Why the fuck would they even have Donald Trump on the list if he's not convertible?
I don't know. Well, why would he not be reelected for another term,
I mean, it seems like it's playing all out how they like it to, him in or out. I don't know how, what the golden path is, but you see what happened. This was the biggest honeypot in history. I mean, that's what gives me pause to call in, but I called in from a blocked number. I mean, we literally just saw the largest honeypot in human history of this. Literally, if you were within 100 yards of the Capitol, the FBI is after your ass.
Yeah, they got your cell phone data, right? Linked with other people's cell phone
It's
data.
not just your data, dude. They literally are taking people's pictures that were there by you, pinging that off of your phone, then using that to say, oh, well, you were right there. See this IP, this da 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 da. We've gone so far beyond. Whenever Edward Snowden and his controlled disclosure release happened, and Occupy Wall Street was going on, those motherfuckers needed to storm Wall Street. If that would have fucking happened, we wouldn't even be dealing with this shit. And I'm not one to call for violence at all, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying go there, sit in, and say, hey, we have something to say, motherfuckers. But if you see the movie Money Monster, it's chilling.
Is that a documentary, or is that like a Hollywood movie?
It's a Hollywood movie. It's Clooney, and that's what's crazy. Clooney
Yeah.
plays,
I gotta watch that. I don't
Clooney
think I've seen that.
It's chilling. It really is, and it's sad because I could really see that playing out, and it's chilling because of the fact that Clooney plays a basically mock of Jim Cramer, and how Jim Cramer gets up there, hey, buy stocks,
Yeah,
it'll get you rich. Well, guess what? I fucking got the fuck out of stocks a couple months ago, started buying up Litecoin and Civic Coin. Well, turns out it wasn't a fucking terrible idea. I mean, buy whatever in crypto. You just have to find something that is collateralizing your dollar. Because if you're sitting on a lot of US dollar, you're fucked.
Yeah. I get that. Interesting. What do you think about physical, like silver? Is that dumb?
I love it.
You like
gotta
it?
have it though. Don't count on it being, sitting in a vault. Don't count on it being through its index. You literally gotta have that shit and make sure it's fucking real too. That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
This shit's getting to be and whenever you can send out silver for 30 plus an ounce, I'm sure some of that shit's gonna get shimmed a little bit. So just make sure you know who you're dealing with and make sure you're getting legitimate stuff. Also make sure it's able to be tokenized, and that's what's interesting is all these people, I'm going to buy a kilos. I'm like, what the fuck are you going to buy with that? Get half ounces, and
Isn't bullion safer too and non-taxable and stuff?
Well, there's an interesting tax circumstance with physical gold, silver. It actually is taxed at a higher rate than your standard investment, but at this point, who gives a fuck? If you're using it as currency, you're not worrying about those taxes. You're worrying about your fucking ability to eat. I kid you not, man. We're about to see meat, everything double. I mean, it's already up 30-40%. How in the hell can anybody explain a double in price of groceries without anything else drastically happening?
Well, inflation, right? Isn't that inflation?
Yeah, I mean, you just tell me. It's almost to a point that right now, I mean, it's almost to a point where people are just in pure denial. They don't believe that their money is literally just crumbling away right in their hands. And I mean that literally. Like, and I say this to friends, family, everybody, get the fuck out of the dollar. I don't care if you got 5 or 10,000 or 1 million, get the fuck out of the dollar.
Interesting. I think that's smart. What about what's your idea of stocks? Do you think it's a game? Can you make money on stocks?
Look at it. look at it. Look what they did. It's circuses. It's pure circuses. They got all these young guys now, oh, I'm going to be a day trader. Are you fucking kidding me? No, you're retarded. You have 10 grand and you're going to lose half of it and then go back to work and be like, fuck, can I get a job, boss? I really thought I could do this. No. If you really think you're going to make any fucking money at that, you're a moron.
Well, I think if people do their research and like follow their own research, then I think
if you're not starting with at least 50 grand, you cannot make a living off of that.
Yeah, true that too. But if you're taking advice off of Reddit or following things like that, I think you're gonna be fooled for sure. Like if you're following Reddit advice.
Why did this whole Wall Street bet thing become mainstream? Like, that Roaring Kitty dude, he is a psyop on his own. Like,
he's making a movie now, right? Or something?
I don't even know. I've kind of fallen off of that because I was just like, holy shit, what is happening? I mean, if you look back, he seems so wholesome, but in the grand scheme, who knows? Who knows if he wasn't part of some other activist group? This dude was working for a big fucking insurance company. He's not just some dweeb in his fucking room with kitty, memes. And that's what also cracks me up is all these people, they just fall over, hand over fist for these people that, act like they're real. Alex Jones, Joe Rogan, none of these people are real. They're assets. They're literally planted assets. Bring up anything involving the CIA, anything like that to them.
Yeah.
Zionism, done.
Well, how far do you think that goes with assets and informants, like within the East Celeb community? Like, what's your opinion on Baked Alaska? There's rumors and information that he is now an FBI informant. It's come out. What do you think? Do you have any opinion on that?
I don't think that they let you exist like that unless you actually are compromised to some extent. You really have to be truly independent, and they know who is able to be compromised. If you're sitting out, out on your own, plot of land, and you somehow got lucky. But either way, just like fucking what was his name? That old fart in Congress said about Trump right when he got in. You fuck with intelligence, they'll find 6 ways to Sunday to fuck you back. And it don't matter. You see what they did to Trump? They fucking they kicked him out of the White House 15 days prior to him exiting the presidency, basically. Really for all, intent and purposes, with 8 days left, we didn't have the same president.
Yeah, that's why I think he's see, we can humbly agree to disagree. That's why I think he's our guy, because they just did him so dirty,
But if he were our guy, wouldn't he be out there kicking and screaming just like every caricature of him?
Yeah, exactly.
Why at the one time that we actually needed him to be a little bitch, he wasn't?
Yeah, I know, because I don't know. Hopefully something happens in court, but if not, yeah, we'll see. He has been abnormally quiet, though.
Thanks for the call, though. I'm taking up time. I'm sure you got people on the back end here, I'm sure. So I really appreciate it. And, you carry on, brother. You just keep fucking kicking it.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, brother. See ya.
Have a good one. That was a good caller. Good caller, very based. Calls are still open. We'll take a few more. What time is it? Yep. A few more calls. That was a good call. Reading what you guys are saying in chat. Let's see what the next call brings. That was good. So he's saying get out of the dollar. Whether you have 1,000, 10,000, 50,000. Very interesting. Yeah, huh? I guess that's smart in general, putting your money to work, not sitting on it, right? Or not sitting on $1 at least. I want to get a little silver, I think. Still do, but happy I didn't rush. That didn't go anywhere. The GameStop thing didn't go anywhere. The hedge funds didn't go under, right? Who's gonna call next? You guys really want Mr. Anderson to call, huh? You guys are so encouraging. What an encouraging crew. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Hello, BasedBellagio. It's Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson, how you doing?
I'm a lot better now that I finally got a hold of my boss.
Very nice.
How are you? How you doing, Bellagio?
I'm good. I'm very good. How what's going on in your world lately?
Well, my world is it's the region of like southwestern Colorado. To be perfectly honest, I came up here because God told me I needed to leave California, and that was 2 days prior to the Fukushima Daiichi power plant, reactor 3 blowing up and putting all this nuclear fissile material into the air. And so I came out to this part of Colorado because this message from God came to me, and it was very special. At first, I'm like sitting there in San Francisco thinking like, okay, there's a voice that's in my head. Like, is this how schizophrenia fucking starts? But, when I got to Joshua Tree and I heard the reports of what had happened to Fukushima, like I knew at that moment that the Lord, the Creator, spoke unto me. Because who the heck else cares about my my DNA, my lineage, And so yeah, we out here.
I love it. Dude, I love
Yeah,
it.
man.
That's a good testimony.
Thank you. Blessings. But I came out here thinking, okay, what does God have to show me? And a lot of times God challenges people. You look at the story, the Bible verse about it's Hezekiah and Isaiah. They are they're traveling through the valley of Sennacherib, and there are these bandits, these raiders that are encircling their camp, and it's kind of like an arduous situation when you've got a whole like crew and like people and animals and stuff and tents. But anyways, so Isaiah and Hezekiah are moving through the valley, and like they keep on getting like like their sheep are getting plucked off, and then pretty soon like their women are getting like taken and stuff. And Isaiah and Hezekiah, this is the story of how Isaiah gained faith. Isaiah wasn't a faithful man before this, but Isaiah and Hezekiah are in that valley, and Isaiah's like, well, what do we do? We're doing the best we can as men, as good men. And Hezekiah goes, well, maybe you just need to get on your knees and pray. Maybe you just need to have a little faith. And so right about the same time this is happening, the army of Sennacherib, which is like the Assyro-Babylonian like war magnate, like we're talking about like the single most destroying force on the planet at that time, comes up to the ridge of the valley and looks down into the valley and sees the bandit like group in like around Isaiah and Hezekiah's camp. So the army of Sennacherib, they just assume that they're all bandits, and Isaiah and Hezekiah are like the leaders of it. And it's just a confluence of forces. Isaiah gets down on his knees and he goes, God, just please send me an angel, send me a sign that I don't know what else to do. I've done the best I can. And God sends this one angel down, and inscribed on the angel's shield, and at least in the classical like way in the paintings and stuff by Velasquez, inscribed on that shield it said like Pleiades Sennacherib, which means in Latin destruction to Sennacherib. And of course the angel came down and laid waste to the enemies of Isaiah and Hezekiah, making Isaiah a faithful man from that point forward, faithfully. And so sometimes we go places, we don't know why we went there, but it's so we can like humble ourselves and get down on our knees and just like pray. And that's where I'm at right now, I feel. But sorry, long-winded.
No, I love it. That you have no idea. I love that story. And that was great. That spoke directly
Thanks.
to me. I really do. I'm sure a lot of people like that. So
I'm glad.
Right now where you are, is it cold? Is it beautiful?
It is tolerable. It's like 26 degrees outside. There's no wind, but it's been snowing off and on. It's pretty cold. I'm pretty remote. I'm 20 miles from like any major town,
Uh-huh.
and then I'm like an hour and a half from the nearest town with a Walmart in it. So I'm way out here. And,
Wow.
I like being way out here. Just, sometimes it's nice to have your brethren and have the strength in numbers and in your congregation. That's what I feel y'all are to me.
Did
And
you
so I say
are you,
say hallelujah.
that's great. We're gonna did you email me? Was that you that emailed me?
Yep.
I'm gonna send you
Yep.
a link today as soon as this show's over. Back to the
All right,
Discord.
cool. Thank you.
What's it called? Did you find a good church where you went to, or are you making a church? Or
I'm in my prayers and in my vision, we all have this common vision, right? Anybody who's chosen, anybody who's standing in righteousness, and I'm not trying to be egotistical, but it's just a plain fact. Those of us who stand together, shepherds and flock alike, we all can feel this kind of, it's like an essence of a major vision, and that vision extends out beyond, and each little piece of us have kind of like a part of the puzzle or whatever. And so anyways, in my part of the vision that I was given and gifted by the Lord, the Creator, I was told not to seek a flock. I'm a shepherd, but I'm out here, I'm just here to witness what it is. But I do feel fellowship with y'all, and I just want to say thanks. Shout out to Black Eagle and everybody out there in the Discord. Y'all are great.
love it. Very,
Yeah.
very, very good.
Dude, I fought so hard to get this stupid phone so I could get back on with you guys, and I'm so glad I did. Yes.
Very, very amazing. Anything else you want to let us know about?
Well, now that you've heard my voice, I'll call in every time you got a call-in show, and I remember.
Well, that's awesome, brother. Well, it's good to hear. It's good to hear from you, and very touching story. You keep witnessing.
Thanks. Yeah. I'm here for it. All right, y'all have a great night.
You too, brother. Thank you.
Peace. Yeah.
Wow, that was a good call. Mr. Anderson, he made it on. We're gonna have to send him an invite. If Black Eagle approves. Black Eagle has to give the 2 thumbs up with the emotes right now. And then I'll send him an invite. Because it's Black Eagle, it's his Discord. He is emperor. I am just a baron. We'll take a few more calls. If you're planning on calling in, call in. Corin, Corin approve. I love it. I love it. Well, we'll take, let me see. Where's my, oh, it's over here now. I got to get a third monitor, guys. By Black Friday, November. Luckily, monitors are not rare, but they might go rare because of the microchip shortage. The microconductor shortage. Ay. We can't get a monitor yet. We got to wait till Black Friday or a major sale. Ricky Radness approves. I like. Very nice. 2 more calls we're going to take. Because it's getting late. KZYY is asking for a Discord link. I don't think Black Eagle's gonna open it up. If he wants, he can open it up in the chat. But KZYY, look in the description on YouTube. Bellagio.sampler@yahoo.com. Email me, KZ. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Hey, Bellagio.
Hello.
Hey, this is We Steel's Play-Doh Snake.
Hello, how you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good.
This is my first time actually being able to reach a call-in show, man.
Well, I appreciate you calling.
Yeah. Man, I just wanted to call in and discuss a variety of topics, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. You have the floor.
I'm the guy I've been trying to obsessively pester you, Titus Ross, and Memory Hold for the last couple of weeks, trying to get some info out on the Delta Project. And John Norman.
Yeah, you sent me the video. I still have him on my is program to kill a satanic cover up, that guy?
Yes. There's the man. I've been trying to post the links to you know how YouTube is doing their thing now.
Yeah.
And they're instantly deleting like certain alternative platform BitChute links. When it comes to those specific ones, the Clown and the Candyman documentary, which tells the story of it. That's the reason why I've been trying to obsessively get it to you specifically, because I remember the show you did a while back on John Norman. And I had been looking into the Program to Kill stuff from pretty much what led me there.
The Uber killer? Who's John Norman? I have to refresh my memory.
John Norman is that prolific international child trafficker from, I believe he was working around the Chicago parts.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep.
And, well, kind of what led me into this side of things was, getting into the whole trafficking thing. And I started to, I just had those questions. You find out about Nixium and John of God and I mean, just a plethora of different syndicates. And then you start to go into I started to delve into the older ones that are buried, like the Finders. And then I started to get into the Program to Kill stuff and started to read into, he's deceased now, but a guy named David McGowan, his work. And that's the work is really all over his book. And it's really well sourced. And the thing that I found really, really interesting about this Delta Project is what led me there was studying the Phoenix Project. And from what I've assessed, I don't know if other people, they might have a different opinion on it, but from what I've assessed in it is the Phoenix Project is essentially a precursor arm to the Delta Project. The Phoenix Project included certain, it's connected to certain serial killers, they used it in Vietnam. And one of a couple of the killers that were involved in the operation would be Arthur Shawcross. Another one would be Wayne Williams. I forget what his murder title was, but he was involved in the program. Then you have Richard Ramirez's brother, or not his brother, his uncle, who is actually he was in the program, and his brother.
And Richard Ramirez, is that the Night Stalker or?
Yeah, the Indian Night Stalker guy.
From California.
Yes, sir. His brother was actually in the Phoenix program, and his brother is actually the one who taught him his killing skills and how to enter houses silently and all that stuff. So the point is,
all these serial killers were connected to this program. It sounds like.
Well, I don't know about all of them. I'm not going to say all of them, but most of the prominent, huge names. If you delve in it, and if anybody after this, wants to delve, I have a whole grammatical order playlist on this subject specifically. But long story short, kind of how I got delved into it is because those answers is we look into Nixium and Epstein and Nygaard and Ed Buck and Haiti Silsby and all this shit, and you see them all having connections to each other. And I think yesterday Memory Hold had a good doc on that really explained that real well. Well, in studying that stuff, I kind of got to the spot where I'm like, man, this is not just blackmail, man. There's something else to this. There's a deep, long historical culture to this, and there's other elements to it that I think there's a lot more nuance in too. Like when Memory Hold posted his video yesterday, as I'm watching, there was a piece to it that I didn't know, and that was a certain element in the Nixium story that he Keith Raniere was trying to come up with patents on how to deprogram or program a Luciferian.
Oh.
I know that sounds so fucking crazy, but
No, not at
legitimately,
all.
legitimately, that's what he was trying to do. And what it reminded me of is whenever I studied MK Ultra for a long time, and I was trying to understand how they can do this mind control stuff, and through torture, through making people enter that out of body experience, and basically creating a void, a DID void, and that's essentially what they were doing in the Phoenix program and the Delta program. I'm not going to say specifically. I know they were doing like MK Ultra stuff, but from what I've gathered from studying all these cases, you see parallel things that match with each other. Whether it's with the McMartin preschool, whether it's with the Finders, there is always an element of SRA abuse with it. There's always elements of that, no matter where you touch, whether it's NXIVM, whether it's the Finders, and especially that's what got me so blown away by this Delta Project thing. Because here's what I find so disgusting about YouTube right now. YouTube is literally blocking mainstream information because this Delta Project thing I've been trying to get to people, they're auto-deleting these fucking links specifically. And the special came off a fucking ID thing, ID channel. This is mainstream, and YouTube is deleting mainstream content. And the reason why...
Because they want to alter reality.
Yeah, it's disgusting. And, like, what I find so troubling about it is when you delve into the Delta Project case, essentially it connects the guy that you did your special on, John Norman, the international child trafficker, and he had a huge Rolodex of high up people that obviously were receiving whatever services he was offering. I know he's in the child pornography. I think he was also a child trafficker as well, more so a child pornographer. But then you find there's so much to the story, man. The specials the links for the specials that I shared, there's like a 4-part episode series, but it explains it real well, man. You have ex-detectives from the case. You have them talking about police and district attorneys deliberately trying to cover shit up. All these same telltale signs that you've seen within the Epstein case and a lot of these other things of them intelligence assets trying to cover things up, high up positions in political atmosphere that are connected to some of these people. And that's the common theme that I see with this Delta Project thing, this Phoenix Project thing, because I started tying some pieces of the puzzle together. Now I'm going to kind of jump around here, but there's some cults that I found out. Because like I said, I'm searching for the answers of what the fuck is this? Why are they doing this? And how have they been able to hide it so well for so fucking long? And what is this really that they're doing? What is MK Ultra really? Are they actually programming people to be like that, or is it some kind of thing where you're getting tortured and you can be opened up for, I don't know, I'm going to sound a little off here, but maybe demonic possession, man.
Absolutely. That's what is part of 110% is part of demonic possession. That yes, MK Ultra is as a conduit for that, and their programming on top of it.
Yeah, and if you really think about like the small intricate details in NXIVM alone, in my personal opinion, I think what Keith Raniere was running, I think he was some kind of MK Ultra agent. I really do. I think he was programming people, because if you listen to some of the victims' testimony and the things they're describing, they're talking about different forms of the program that they can use. They got, I forget all the different varieties, but I know one type is called beta, and the CIA sex kit, where they program women to go around and obtain things from people for sex and stuff, secrets. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That type of thing. And what the victims were describing is how Raniere was setting them to be submissive and sexual, and how they could train themselves to basically they hurt themselves, and you can be trained in a way to as you're growing up. A lot of elite families do this too, from what I've gathered. And there's a guy that I learned a lot from studying some of his documentaries on MK Ultra named Jay Meyer's documentaries. If anybody is ever interested in that, there's a great documentary he's got on MK Ultra programming, and it delves into even the ancient history. This is stuff that they've been doing since the Babylonian time, from what I've gathered.
Yes. Yeah, this the CIA's MK Ultra program is just like if we had to talk about it like a computer, like game updates or iPhone, iOS 10, iOS 11. MK Ultra is just like an iOS 10 version of an ancient Babylonian demon possession technique, or an ancient Egyptian demon possession technique, or
Yeah, but this MK Ultra style of torture to create DID personalities for specific things to do, or operations or jobs. I mean, they really have been doing this since the time of the Babylonians. So people got this idea that the Babylonians and the Greeks, and since it was so far back that people were just stupid or something. And I don't agree with that at all. I think there's obviously a lot of hidden secrets in the past of history that we're just now coming to find out now,
The Oracle of Delphi was basically an MK Ultra schizo that they had multiple personalities. They put her over a gas chamber that made her really trip out, and she would just predict things.
Yeah, exactly. What do they call that? Remote viewing or something like that? Is that what
remote viewing is part of it? It's part of it. It's like it taps into it. It really, if you want to watch a documentary / Hollywood movie based on this, it is like the movie Split. The movie Glass.
Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, that's exactly the vibes it gave me too. That's exactly what MK Ultra is, man. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's a documentary. You guys want to enjoy?
Yeah, or another good one would be Mr. Glass. That one.
Mr. Glass.
I can't remember.
Well, but, the original one, which I haven't saw, it's a Bruce Willis movie. Someone in chat probably knows it, and I have it. I bought it, but I haven't watched it yet. I forgot what it's called, and that's what the whole series is based. It's called the XX series. I forgot the name of it. But that's the movie. That's the third movie I think you're thinking of.
Okay, yeah.
Manchurian Candidate. It's another movie people are saying in chat. Separate series, yeah.
And if you study some of these people that think, that they say are pasties, like the guy who killed Kennedy and stuff, there are certain programs that they use in MK Ultra for a background. They give the person sensory-wise a background of some type of theme, like Alice in Wonderland is a big thing they use. Another one is a book called Catcher in the Rye. And when they found Lee Harvey Oswald at the scene, he was the dude who seemed like, from what was described, from what I've looked into it, he was acting weird, and he was holding a book that was Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah.
Which,
it's just a powerful book to them. A lot of subliminals in that one. The Unbreakable series is what Asterios in chat. Yeah. Unbreakable is the movie. I still have to watch it, but basically about real life superheroes because they have multiple personalities. One of the personality happens to be a superhero,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Basically, if I had to boil it down.
Oh, yeah, but just a long story short on that Delta Project thing, the reason why it blew me away so much is, to me, it's like, if I was to simplify it, it's like, I basically would say it makes John of God and Jeffrey Epstein put together look like fucking PG-13. It's that bad. And there's common lines in it. There's literally, from what I'm figuring out and looking into this work with McGowan and all, if you look at and the stuff that I watch is very well sourced. The guy who runs it now, who's carried on his work, is, I don't know his last name, a guy named Patrick. He runs a website called programtokill.net. And they literally have like graph charts on each specific serial killer, their ties to military intelligence, their family's ties to military intelligence, their ties to politics. Like John Wayne Gacy had heavy ties to politics.
Yeah, big Democrat ties, yeah. Yeah,
he even had Ted Bundy. He was on, I believe, the Rockefeller campaign or something back in the day.
I could just tell you guys the red pill. that all the Southern California serial killers have political and Hollywood connections, and even the ones they haven't caught to this day. But yeah, Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. That's the guy. Was that the guy that was leaving bodies up on the hillsides of Los Angeles, or is that the same
No, I think
guy?
you're thinking of the Hillside Strangler.
The Hillside Strangler. Brothers and sisters, I used to live in those hills right across the way. Not during the time of the Stranglers.
Oh, Jesus.
This is years later. I wasn't there during the time. My lawyer already disclosed that. So lay off me. Okay, double jeopardy. It's not me. Okay, I'm not the Hillside Strangler. But
it'd be one hell of a cover, man.
No, I lived there many years later, but I thought it was real. My one buddy was like a huge serial killer buff, and he told me about these stories. And then looking into it years later, it's like all these weird connections. The people that were killed were weirdly connected to people, you know?
Yes. Man, and you know what's so crazy about it is that's kind of what blew my mind away with it, because I was always a big true crime buff, and I obsessively watched all those serial killer documentaries and stuff growing up, just trying to understand, like, how can people be this fucking sick? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
how come there's no serial killers nowadays? Are they? What's going on? The news doesn't report on it?
That's kind of where I'm getting to, where I'm going to get to on this story. There is a lot of them out here, a lot of them, all over the country, and this is a worldwide predicament. I mean, the details I'm finding out about this stuff, it's honestly, it's fucking frightening, man. It's more frightening than any of this trafficking shit, and really, when you're looking into it, it's essentially a part of it. Basically, what I'm figuring out is, if you look in deeply, what people need to do when it comes to these separate serial killer cases is, and it's hard to find this info, I understand, but a good book, like I said, would be that Program to Kill. It's very heavily sourced. He's talking to ex-detectives and getting like the nitty-gritty good info, all this good stuff. But the common thing I'm finding is it seems like a lot of them are connected to cults, first of all. There's what people I don't think have gathered, or they don't take serious enough, is the satanic or Luciferian cults that are all over this fucking country, and that are founded by people that are connected to people in Hollywood. Like, for instance, a good one would be like Anton LaVey. I believe he's the founder of the Church of Satan or whatever. Yeah, and then you have L. Ron Hubbard. And he's the guy who is he's a follower of Crowley. Man, that's one thing that helped me figure a lot of this shit out too, is these undercover shills like Joe Rogan. I think he's definitely an undercover shill, for sure.
For Scientology or for CIA?
When it comes to guessing if he's an intelligence asset, I don't know. I just think he's a fucking long-time Hollywood cover-up boy. If that's a good explanation. My primary reasons is like his take. I let the guy have a lot of strikes because I used to love watching his stuff. And he recently, it was the last strike for me, he recently brought on a guy, man, I wish I could remember his name, but it was one of the chefs for Jeffrey Epstein and his New York mansion. And Rogan had him on a little while back, I think months ago. And Rogan did not ask him one fucking question about Epstein, dude. You're not going to ask the fucking chef inside the New York mansion about Epstein? I'm like, that to me is something where I'm like, okay, I get the excuse that some people want to use to be like, well, maybe he just doesn't know about all this trafficking and shit. Yeah, I think he does. Because anytime Eddie Bravo would ever be on his podcast, he would get shut the fuck down anytime he would speak about any of it. Yeah. Instantly. By Joe Rogan. If you really think
Joe
about
Rogan's best friend, and like, if he's the guy behind even some of Alex's Jones's methods, not like the management system, but like selling vitamins, is Aubrey Marcus. That guy is some crazy new age shaman, witch doctor.
Oh yeah, definitely. And if you looking into this Phoenix Project type stuff, and in the cult element. And I'm starting to see the dots connect between these cults that are essentially, from what I've gathered, where it comes to the Black Hand of Death, when it comes to the upper process of final judgment is another one. These are two really famous cults that interlap from each other. They essentially came from the OTO over in England.
Yeah. Well, doesn't OTO operate big in Pasadena, California?
Yeah, there's a lot of branches that it split off to.
Yeah, big
California,
OTO in California.
That's why, I commented in the comment section earlier, you couldn't fucking pay me to live in California, man. That is serial killer haven, dude.
That was before I was woke.
Yeah, essentially what I've gathered is these serial killers, if you look deeply into their cases and you really actually study the victims and what their parents did for jobs, see, that's one element people don't really do. They just see the victim. And that's how they portrayed in the media as these lone nuts, right? And they cover up their childhood. And they cover up their ties to high up, like naval intelligence and shit like that. They don't tell the story of the victims. They make the killer the star of the show. There's always this brief of, it was Mary, blah, blah, blah. And they don't tell you shit about her or what her parents did or were they closely connected to politics. They interlapped with the serial killer and his connections. But long story short, man, the John Norman thing, the Delta Project thing, it's kind of new information that's kind of delved to the surface. And when it comes to the topic of this Phoenix Project, Delta Project, CIA operation shit, it's the first bit of real story that's delved to the surface to really give the people who've been looking into this stuff. Because to me, this is the element part of trafficking that people are not making connections to. This trafficking shit is connected to these cults, and these cults are essentially, they work like the mafia and do black market schemes. So let's say somebody is so-and-so in politics needs something that's, has some dirt on somebody. Well, they're going to send John Wayne Gacy to go ahead and invite that boy to his house or, stuff like that. But that's not specific. But if you, like the Ted Bundy case, there's a shit ton of very odd things that the media never delved into. Like one of the victims was actually a babysitter for Ann Rule, who's that fat blonde bitch who does all the fucking stories on Ted Bundy and worked with him at a call center. And one of the victims of Ted Bundy was her babysitter. Another victim was actually a high up cop in I forget the general area, but it was a cop's kid. And you start to find these with each separate serial killer in each one of these cases. You see these elements that have never been talked about, that they're tied to politics. Essentially, they're used as like cleanup jobs. Essentially what I was describing earlier, like black market schemes, gathering kids for these MK Ultra operations, like the Finders cults. The Finders cult. I mean, that's what these are. They're an intelligence agency created. That's why I think there's so much similarities between them. Because if you look at Epstein, purely guarded and these intelligence agencies, they're guarding them, they're facilitating them, and it's the same sequence with the Finders. You have the same details there, and it just goes on and on, man. And yeah, I'm kind of jumping around here, but essentially,
no, it's all connected. It even connects to Stephen Paddock and Jose Campos going on Ellen DeGeneres, and dude, it's all connected. It really is.
And there's another guy I followed he's an ex-attorney, a guy I followed named William Ramsey Investigates, and he has done some great documentaries on this subject of what I'm talking about, on specifically who were those boys, that Memphis 6 or Memphis 3, what was that story? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it does sound familiar. I think the Memphis something.
He's done some great deep dives into that and the celebrities that are connected to them, like Johnny Depp and Marilyn Manson, who's recently under some kind of controversy. And a lot of these Hollywood people are like, they're connected to these cults. Some of them admit it, some of them don't.
And these cults are not only connected to the government agencies, the cubicle shills. That's why 4chan is just pumped with propaganda 24/7, like pro Marilyn Manson propaganda, pro yada yada propaganda, and it's all connected
That's one thing.
back to these cults.
That's another side of the story. The Manson story. Memory Hole did a really good doc on that a while back. Manson, fucking dude, Manson was Hollywood. He's around the Beatles and all that shit. Manson was.
You're talking about Charles Manson or Marilyn Manson?
Charles Manson.
Yeah, I'm talking about Marilyn Manson, but the same thing, same idea. Yeah. It is all connected to Hollywood.
Charles Manson's connected to the upper process of final judgment. He even admitted it in an interview. It's just nobody knew what the fuck it meant back in the day. Nobody knew what process meant. You know?
Yeah.
So when you go and delve back into some of these old interviews, a lot of these serial killers are literally telling you some of these fucking secrets. You know what I mean? That they're connected to this shit. David Berkowitz, the son of Sam, is another one. He's a part of the same cult. So really think about that. That's Charles Manson and David Berkowitz connected to the same cult. You know, now I haven't seen full-on proof connections of it, but there is hearsay that Jeffrey Dahmer was another asset that was congregating with Gacy and the Delta Project. Now I haven't seen no proof on that, so I'm not. The real hard evidence proof on the Delta Project is it ties together the guy you did a deal on, named John Norman, to two prominent famous serial killers named John Wayne Gacy and Dean Corll of the Texas Killing Fields.
Great information. Amazing information. People in chat are saying connects to Laurel Canyon also.
Yes. Laurel Canyon is a huge story, man. Laurel Canyon is a gigantic cult intelligence agency created fucking atmosphere. The whole thing.
It's weird back there. There's some weird stuff going on back there.
Yeah, and you know, here's one thing I wanted to run across you that it has always bothered my mind. You know, over the years, before we started learning about, you know, the Epsteins and the Nygars and all this stuff, whenever sexual things would come out, it'd always be with top elements of churches, right? One thing I always didn't understand is, and I think this is on purpose, and this isn't me defending those churches for that shit, because in my opinion, all the elements of religion all around the world have been subverted at the top by these people who don't actually represent those religions. They're fucking Luciferians behind the doors. You know, people like to play around with the Zionist term a little too much, because for me, the one common occurrence, no matter if it's the Sabbatean Frankist to the fucking Zionist to whatever you want to call them, the Pindar, whatever you want to give the label, Skull and Bones, whatever mystery school cult you want to give them, the same common occurrence that they all have is they're all into this devilish shit. They all worship this Lucifer shit.
True.
My point that I was trying to get to is what I started to see is there's these new age religion churches that have been started, like, and they've had child trafficking things going on at their deals, the same as like the tops of the Catholic churches and stuff. And that would be like Scientology. Well, Scientology was started by a guy named L. Ron Hubbard. L. Ron Hubbard is a guy who basically worshipped the ground that Crowley walked on. You know? And
absolutely.
So
and that goes back to the Golden Dawn, OTO, pagan worship.
Yeah, so basically my point is the media has over time portrayed this scenario, and I think it has to do with a lot of people giving up religion and stuff too, because they're showing all the sickness that's going on the tops of the Catholic churches and not knowing this is really subversion. But if you look at these Hollywood-created cult churches like Scientology that have had the same accusations, they're not nearly talked about or as known. And I think that's on purpose.
It absolutely is on purpose.
But, you know, I kind of hopped around on a lot of different subjects, man, but that's kind of the gist of it.
Amazing. Your call was so good. Titus Frost on D Live is going to host us. He's hosting our show right now, thanks to you, brother.
Oh, hell yeah. Hey, Titus, dude, you're a badass, dude. The guy, honestly, dude, the guys who I always prop up at the top when it comes to this type of material and talking about these subjects is Titus Frost is, first of all, the first guy that I ran into whenever because for me, my journeyman was a 9/11 truther in 2013 is whenever I kind of started to wake up. And then I kind of fell back asleep because you can only find so much. You're like, okay, yeah, these are sick bastards, war lies, generations of people sacrificed for lies, blah, blah, blah. But there was no cult element or these trafficking things that a lot of us didn't know about. And then once WikiLeaks happened, and I'm reading these fucking Podesta emails and shit, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, dude? And then I'm going on the vote threads, and I'm clicking on pictures and looking at connections. I'm like, oh my God, dude, this is real. This is fucking real. And then Titus Frost, he did some amazing deep dives around that time that taught me a lot. So I would say, man, honestly, Memory Hold, and Titus Frost are my top 3 guys when it comes to this type of material.
Thank you so much. It's an honor.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate you having me on, man. And big props to you, Bellagio, Memory Hold, and Titus Frost. And big shout out to Patrick at Laugh Out Loud. His channel's a weird name. I think it's to go around algorithm. But his channel is LOL Filled in Love, all together in capital letters. Laugh Out Loud Filled in Love. And that is where I get a lot of this program to kill information. But
LOL Field and Love. That's on BitChute.
Yes.
All one word.
Yeah. So shout out to all you guys. If you want to go even deeper into this shit, follow all these guys: Titus Frost, Memory Hold, Bellagio, and Laugh Out Loud Filled in Love, and prepare to fucking go on down that rabbit hole even further, because it seems like you never run out of things and connections to run into. And also the Delta Project thing is also connected to a thing called North Fox Island that was at Michigan. I forget the exact location, Lake Michigan, I believe. And that is connected to some high up politicians. So that is the same kind of sequences with the Epstein thing. You have to, except you literally have these high up politicians and people in politics that are literally connected to fucking an international child trafficker and 2 serial killers. I mean, it's the craziest
coincidence,
shit.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, and also, guys, there's some new material coming out on the Lisk killer, which is the Long Island serial killer. Some really interesting, kind of similar details, man, that have came out on a guy. His last name's Burke. He's a cop for the Suffolk County Police Department. I believe he's the ex-chief. And there's some amazing details that have just recently surfaced of some guy that was snooping around in cars, and he was trying to do little grab and goes, doing these little petty looking in cars, trying to get change and that type of shit. That was one of these type of guys, and he ended up finding a bag inside of a police chief's car. He didn't know it's a police chief's car. And he took this bag and he fucking goes home and he fucking reviews the tape, and what he's seeing is snuff films of these hookers that have been killed by the Long Island serial killer that are being tortured on this snuff film. And this Burke cop, it was in his vehicle. And if you follow the guidelines of the history, that guy is basically like Dexter, man. But not a good kind in any way. You know what I mean? He's literally like at the crime scene. He's stifling the FBI, trying to make sure the FBI can't look at extra details or make a profile on the killer. I mean,
he's not killing criminals either, right? He's like a negative Dexter, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, at least Dexter was killing scumbags.
Yeah, it's like, but it reminded me of that of like,
show.
Yeah, it reminded me of that of like, okay, I'm investigating the serial killer, even though the serial killer's fucking there.
Wild.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if Burke, it doesn't mean Burke did it, but he fucking knows somebody close to it. I know that.
That's incredible information. You definitely have to call back in. I am going to watch these documentaries that you sent me from that channel. I got them on my tabs opened up, and I appreciate your call, brother.
Yes, sir. And last thing I'd say is, if anybody wants a shortcut to this kind of information I'm talking about, I have grammatical in order playlists that I have on my channel. I mean, I'm not really a
Shout your
content
channel
creator.
out.
Wes Steele's Play-Doh snakes. It's WESTEALZPLAYDO snakes. And I know it's kind of like an innuendo name.
That's on YouTube.
Yeah, I know it's a fucking. I'll comment in your chat after this so
Okay,
people
good.
can see it.
Perfect. I'll comment
But,
on YouTube after this.
It's kind of an inside joke because what does the deep state do? The only thing they know how to do is fucking roll Play-Doh snakes. They're schemers, so we steal them. That's my inside joke on
I
that.
love it. I love it. Brother, thank you for calling.
Yes, sir. And thanks, guys. See you later.
Amazing. Thank you, brother. That was a good call. We're going to take one more call. That was great. I would love if me, Titus Frost, and Memory Hold did a weekly or bi-monthly, twice a month or once a week show together. I think it would be amazing. I broadcast on Twitch, D Live, and YouTube. And I want us all to broadcast. So it's like mass airwaves. All three of us are broadcasting at the same time. I put that proposition out there. We got to get the 3-triple show going. Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Bellagio Sampler. How's it going?
How you doing?
I'm pretty good. This is Black Eagle.
Black Eagle, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good, man. I'm just amazed with the callers that we've had tonight. This is what it's all about. This is the kind of stuff you're never going to hear it anywhere else, folks. That's why Aunt Susan doesn't want us around. You got to help us out, folks. It's up to you guys to help spread the info. Make your own
I'm going to be
channels.
thanking. We got some big PayPals. I got to thank them after your call. I'm going to turn the phone off. We're going to be thanking. We got some big help tonight, and people spreading the channel is going to help. And I want to do a 3-way me, Titus, Memory Hold weekly show. That would be amazing. Or twice a month or once a month even. That would be big content, and they can't stop us on every platform. Put it that way. I'm going to upload this video to BitChute as soon as this channel's over. So make sure you're following my BitChute.
Incredible. And you know what's truly amazing, Bellagio, is I have to congratulate you because you have been right virtually for every live stream that you've done and every video that you've made up to this point to now. You've been right about everything that has happened and with the prediction of everything that has been happening. And it's just because, we can all tap into this collective consciousness and we can just see it, for what it is, and we can just feel the waters. And I would have never been able to even think this way if it wasn't for what you've been able to help create. And so that's why I want to thank you for that. But I also want to congratulate you on the fact that Fed Gang is now being toppled.
Yeah, for people that don't know, tell people in a quick rundown what is happening, who's Fed Gang, for people that don't know.
Well, okay. So, folks, all of your favorite e-celebrities that you probably enjoy and watch from time to time, that you're probably still subscribed to, that you probably need to go into your account and unsubscribe from some of these people, is a lot of these e-celebrities are federal fucking agents. Everybody knows that. A lot of the callers are talking about that tonight. And so what happened recently was America First with Nick Fuentes, who Bellagio you helped expose as a degenerate. And thanks to folks like Godwinson and PPP, they kept they exposed this very early on, but about Fuentes not being who he says he is. Well, that his right hand man Patrick Casey basically has turned against him and has said, look, if you go to this AFPAC, which is like a conference, a convention, if you go to this, they want your full name, your phone number, et cetera, et cetera. They want identity. They want everything. And so it's because they're selling it to federal agencies or whatever. You know, they're doing whatever they want with your information is what I'm trying to say. So, but yeah, that's basically, it's left, you know, it's exposed all of these people because everybody knows how all these people are connected. And so that's basically, it's quote unquote the big grift. It's how, you know, if you think about Medicare, you know, and all these people, they're all connected. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it now. So, you know, it's finally come apart, and that's what's been holding everything back for so long from actually happening, is that people have been listening to these degenerate grifters who have just been regurgitating, you know, constant, like, you know, whether it's the fucking diversity shit, you know, or it's the fucking you know, whether it's the population shit, you know, like, oh well, you know, yeah, they try, yeah, okay, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I'm trying, yeah, I'm not trying to get into it too much, but what I'm trying to say is, finally, these people, they're getting what they're reaping what they sowed. You know, they created this entire base. It was built on, you know, a house of cards, and you know, they created this reality TV show for themselves that they were playing a part in, and they screwed up. You know, they couldn't play the gig for so long, and so now everybody's seeing for what it really was, especially with the Catboy shit. That was just, yeah, people will never forget.
He's
That
either been
unforgivable.
arrested or he's gone dark, right? Catboy Cammy.
Yeah, Catboy hasn't been heard of or seen at all, according to my knowledge.
He was raided.
Yeah, he was raided. He was actually like raided, and so that's. I mean, it's just showing that, you know, he even the, like, because there was a rumor that Catboy had immunity, and that's why when you first made your video and it was, you know, reported, you know, to the people who could actually do something about this, and, you know, about Catboy, you know, apparently it was heard that he had like immunity, and he went and like was like staying with like fucking Baked Alaska or some shit. And then, you know, out in the Catboy compound out in Arizona, and then fucking I guess, you know, the rumor was like Fuentes got him the fucking immunity, but the whole thing was, you know, to set up their whole operation, their whole
immunity is
fucking...
the people are, it's like the faction wars are starting to make people realize that immunity is compartmentalized. So you might have immunity from like a situation or one organization, but then, you know, another faction of the FBI will come cracking down on Nick Fuentes, you know?
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking was happening, because, you know, after this whole thing of trying to get all these kids, because it's just like kids. You're talking about like college age people. You know, they're very easily influenced. You know, and that's why, that's the evil of what these grifters have done. These e-celebrities have done. Let's not forget these people. The grifters must be destroyed. The evil that they have done is they have tainted an entire fucking impressionable young group of people, whether going in college or out of college, or they're in, you know, what, it doesn't matter.
Someone in
that's
chat
their
is,
demographic.
sorry to cut you off though, this is pertinent. Someone in chat is saying, isn't there a chance that these e-celebs aren't federal agents and they're just attention-seeking hive mind F-bombs? And yeah, that's 100% possible, but then you get real information that like Milo is a federal informant, Baked Alaska is a federal informant. So it's like, we're not just pulling this out of thin air. But yeah, it's possible.
And they're all friends. They all go to the same social events. They're all at the same parties. They're all hanging out. They all know each other. They all worked with each other.
Yeah.
It's a giant grift. It's the big grift. It's like what Medicare was doing, you know? With the fucking Corona streams. He was shilling Fuentes before the Corona streams. Remember that?
Yeah, no one knows.
Yeah, Jim, with your fucking fake cancer. What's going on there, bud?
Did he take a vacation or?
Yeah, that's just, it's just laughable at this point. But I wonder what he'll rebrand and come back as next. So,
I don't know.
But yeah, Anyway, no, I could talk shit all night. I don't give a shit about these people. These people are evil.
Where do you think it all leads to, though? Like Patrick Casey was saying that the FBI is building a huge case
database.
Yeah, building a huge
database
case
of. Yeah, so they can be like, oh well, you're on a watch list, you're on a watch list, you're on a watch list, and it's just but it's like Trump won the fucking election. We're living in fucking clown world, guy. They're trying to sell you the fact that Joe Biden's in the White House for the.
What is he doing?
He's at Amazon Studios. He's at Amazon Studios, guys.
What does he do all day?
California.
He just sleeps all day and signs an executive order once in a while.
Watches Price is Right, probably. I mean,
yeah,
that's what I'd do if I was his age.
Yeah.
If that's even really Biden.
Yeah, the average people realize.
Welcome to the Schizodome.
Not even that. The average American is asking those questions now. Is it really Biden? Is he president? It's pretty crazy.
Welcome to the Great Awakening. People finally have realized their favorite E-celebs are federal agents, and that Joe Biden could be a fucking 29-year-old man wearing makeup.
Wild. Absolutely wild.
That's what's weird. But yeah, that's the whole thing with the whole America First thing, and they're all connected, folks. So you can't forget about that. But besides that, what the last caller was talking about, he needs to look into some of the connections with, the stuff that I was mentioning to you guys, and I think on a previous call-in show, working on a project called "The Gayest Story Never Told."
Yeah,
now,
did you ever publish that, or?
Well, no. So it's gonna. We're trying. We there is truly no way that when the caller was saying, it's a long story, it is a very long story. There is truly no way to compartmentalize all this information into like an hour-long documentary. Like it would have to be like a series. And we were discussing this the other night. It was Memory Hold and Goomba and Sapo and I. We were discussing this the other night, like how to go about this. And we're going to do a chronological time frame of everything and all the events and all the characters and all the all the players involved. And you'll find out that yes, they are all connected. All those serial killers, all those projects, all those weirdo things, all those cults, and like the mafia and like the gay mafia and like the spread of like the trying to normalization of like pedophilia and all that other shit, and the rise of hardcore pornography along with the sexual liberation movement before it, and the hippie Timothy Leary shit and the hippie shit, and the free love move kind of shit, and abortion. It's all connected, folks. It's all connected. And it goes all the way. We've been truly fighting the satanic cult, folks. Never forget that. That's the fucking hardest part.
True.
But no, I didn't. I know it's been a long night, Bellagio, and I don't want to take up too much time. But I just wanted to say thank you, guys. I wanted to thank everybody who watches the show, and I wanted to thank you, Bellagio. And guys, their censorship, if their propaganda wouldn't be necessary if we weren't winning.
We are. No, I'm telling you guys, you got to get out. After you got the phone, I'm going to give my speech, but we are winning. People are waking up out there, the average person, and that's what the masks are for, to keep us from communicating with each other and meeting new people out there, because they don't want you to know how many people out there know what's going on.
Yeah,
it's not just Reddit.
The faces. Yes. Yes. Yeah. They want you to stay on fucking Reddit.
It's not just Reddit waking up. It's the common man.
Yes, exactly. It's amazing, Bellagio. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you tonight, sir, and it's been an honor.
Thank you. You rock.
Alrighty. Well, you have a good one.
Thank you, brother. You rock. Thank you very much.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
There's Based Black Eagle with the last call. Based Top Mod. of the Discord, top owner, kick-ass CHNer. I gotta give thanks. My jaw dropped when I got this middle of the calls. I didn't want to interrupt anyone, but we're doing a segment now. I gotta thank people. We got a $150 donation. I'm doing them in order. We got 2 donations. $150 from Christian Anon. He says, "For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerning of the thoughts and intents of the heart. Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all things are naked and opened unto the eyes of him with whom we have to do." Hebrews chapter 4:12. King James Version. God bless. Keep working hard. Victory is ours. What an amazing verse. With the $150 jaw-dropping, like really helping out the family donation. And then we got a $50 donation from Rick James. Brother Rick James with a $50 donation. He says, "I'm raising a 7-year-old daughter and 34, and her aunt is a Democrat, turned Republican over all of this, turned her Republican." Thank you, Rick James. Like, it means so much that you took money out of your family and donated it to me. Words can't describe my appreciation and thanks, like, honestly. And to the people that help share the video, help share the channel, help break the algorithms. It's thanks to you that we have broken the algorithms. And we tell YouTube, no, we are equal. We are equal to your bigwig slave master YouTubers like Jacksepticeye, like PewDiePie with his slave labor camps, pumping out his videos in bot farms around Indonesia. That's what happens. We're grassroots here. I got you guys. You share a video here and there. PewDiePie has literal child slave labor camps in Indonesia retweeting his videos, liking and subscribing, getting all the notifications. That's why you don't get your notifications. There's only so many notifications to go around on YouTube platforms. That's what happens. The next Bible study is next. We had to take care of this call-in show, and then the next show will be a Bible study on this channel. The next show on this channel will be a Bible study. The next game show will be on the main channel, Central Happenings Network 2. Bible study might be tomorrow night, late night. Late night tomorrow night. So thank you guys for donating. That's incredible. And then I want to say the victory. Let's get some music on. It's cold here, guys. My nose is a little stuffy. I'm going to play a little Tarkov after this. Hopefully, some of you guys want to play some Tarkov. I am like super rich in Tarkov, guys. I wish I got the Bitcoin farm running in real life. But in Tarkov, I have a Bitcoin farm. It's nice. It's comfy. I'm rich. Get some music on. Ending. So, here's the victory speech, guys. Unless you're out there in the world talking to people, sitting at diners, going out to eat, not being afraid of the virus, talking to the average man, you're not going to know this is happening. And that's the whole purpose of the mask. That's the whole purpose of the lockdown. To keep you from talking to the common man out there and figuring out that we are the majority. And it could be anyone from the ages of young to old. This is not separating from any age group or class group. I talked to an 80-year-old today, 80-year-old Christian that says he is not getting the vaccine. They want to kill us. It's designed to kill us. It was like I was talking to a 4chaner. He was 80 years old. Get connected with a based church that is fighting the government. These donations tonight, 20% well, 10%. Not 20. I already did 20 last week. 10% of the donations tonight are going to my local church. And you know that that's going to amazing programs and amazing stuff helping people. I'm part of a really good church. This good church, and this church is like fighting the government, maskless, hundreds of people gathering, telling the health department literally to go away. And this is where the real protests are going to be. This is where the revolution is. Get connected. Maybe it's time to break from tradition. Maybe your church is closed down, your family church. Find a new one within 45-minute radius. I highly recommend it. You're going to find like-minded people. You will. Because that's where the real revolution is happening. And that's where I'm meeting amazing people that I just can't believe. Like my jaw is not dropping literally in front of them, but in my mind, my jaw is dropping. I'm like, I can't believe these guys are talking about this. They're talking about Biden, fake Biden, no signatures. He might be a clone. The military doesn't respect. This is all coming from what you would consider boomers. I'm blown away. But the government doesn't want you talking to anybody. They want you staying 6 feet apart. So the AI is calibrated. Ignore that. Have family gatherings. Have fellowship. Have parties. Unironically, you need to have a pizza party. And no, not an Epstein, not a Comet pizza party. An unironic, go to your local pizzerias, support local businesses. Buy some pizzas. Have a gathering with some friends. Bring the pizzas to your local church. Go, even if you really believe in COVID, you're afraid, go have a tailgate party. Go buy like 5-6 pizzas. Go pull up on the side of the road with a sign that says free pizza. Take your mask off. Hang out. Let's talk. Okay? Get creative. Break the conditioning. Any way possible. I want to thank you guys for watching the show. You guys rock. Thank you for donating. Thank you for donating your time, for hanging out and listening to some amazing anons and the rantings of a madman, Bellagio Sampler. I'll be back maybe tomorrow night for a Bible study. Thank you guys again for everything. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat before I leave. Why is the phone number still up? Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in chat. Real quick, I'm gonna go in chat. Ricky Radness is hosting a Discord Bible study. We gotta get Mr. Anderson, and I'm gonna send him a link after the show. Black Eagle has approved it. And Mr. Bitcoin merchant himself from Canada. He's supposed to email me too. Thank you guys for an amazing show. You guys make the show great. Have a great rest of your night.